Hi, this is Vishwanathan from Government Degree College, Medak, lecture in zoology. So, today video about glycolysis. So, before glycolysis, we know about the cellular respiration. So, what is cellular respiration actually? So, oxygen transport through the blood, that means in the respiration, oxygen transport through the blood into the cell. In the presence of oxygen, oxidation enzymes act on food molecules, produce the free energy, carbon dioxide and H2. So this is very important. So in the respiration, the oxygen is transported to cell, and in the presence of the oxygen, the enzymes are act on food molecules. That food molecules are that is gained by gained by the after the digestion is completed, means digestive system is converted the large food particles to small molecules. That molecules are stored in the every single cell. That molecules are stored in the every single cell. That molecules in the presence of oxygen, they are converted into free energy and carbon dioxide and H2O. So this is we are called as a cellular respiration or biooxidation, or also called as a tissue oxidation. So this is cellular respiration, means in the cell with the presence of oxygen, that mainly energy is produced and carbon dioxide and water is released. So the energy is stored as a ATP and ADP. So actually in all animals, the energy is stored as a ATP and or ADP. So means it is in both that is ATP and ADP is present. These are the energetic materials. The cellular respiration converted the nutrients to the free energy by the following three steps. So means the cellular respiration is converted. The cellular respiration convert the nutrients to the free energy by the three steps that we are called as a glycolysis. That we are called as a one we are called as a glycolysis, and second one we are called as a Krebs cycle, and the third one we are called as a electron transport system. So these three are very important in the cellular respiration. Now next, what is glycolysis? Now in this video we are discussed on the only that is glycolysis. The main is glycolysis. So what is glycolysis? Glycolysis actually we are also called as a EMP pathway or Embden-Meyerhof-Paranas. So these are the three scientists. These three scientists that is called as so those who are describe the or discover the glycolysis, and based on their names they give as a EMP, that we are called Embden-Meyerhof-Paranas. So these are the three scientists. That's why they called as a EMP pathway, and also called as a hexose diphosphate pathway. Hexose means there is 6 carbon. So in the 6 carbons are converted into 3 carbons, means there are 3 carbons are produced from the hexose. So that we are called as a hexose diphosphate pathway. So that is what is the meaning of glycolysis? Actually meaning that glycolysis, the word glycolysis of Greek origin, where glycose, that we are called glycose, means sweet, and lysis means lifting. So hence glycolysis literally means sugar lifting or sugar breakdown. So means glycolysis is the main that is base material is base food molecule is glucose, that we are called glucose. So that is a very important that we are called as a that is glucose. Actually the glucose is converted into three carbon molecules. In the glucose, the 6 carbons are there. So means the glucose is splitting into half of parts. That's why they we are called as a glyco. Glyco means sweet or glucose part particular, and lysis means splitting or divided as a two parts, that we are called as a sugar splitting and sugar breakdown, that we are called sugar splitting and sugar breakdown. So this accurately describe the process of glycolysis, in which 6 carbon, so this is very important, 6 carbon sugar molecules is break down in 3 carbon molecules, that is 3 carbon molecules. So this is called as a glycolysis or hexose diphosphate pathway, right? In the next slide. So this is glycolysis pathway. So how the glucose is converted into finally pyruvic acid, which contain 3 carbon molecules, that we are called as a pyruvic acids. So from this glycolysis, the major base molecule is glucose. So this is glucose. So glucose has 6 carbons. It has 6 carbons, means 6 carbons are present in the structure of glucose. That is C1 or C2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these are the 6 carbon molecules. These 6 carbon molecules are converted into 3 carbon molecules. Means here the splitting is present. So that is divided or breakdown is present between the 3 carbon molecules, right? So that's why the base molecule of the glycolysis is glucose. So the glucose is that is 6 carbon molecules. That 6 carbon molecules gain the phosphate. So the glucose is phosphorylated, means one phosphatid add this glucose. Suppose one phosphatid add, that phosphate is added from the using of ATP. One ATP from the ATP. What is the meaning of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate, means 3 phosphates are present in the ATP. From 3 phosphate, one phosphate is attached on the glucose. So then the ATP converted as a that is ADP. The ATP is converted as a ADP, means one phosphate is released and one phosphate is attached on the glucose and form as a glucose 6 phosphate. So here the molecules are very important, that metal ions that we are called Mg+2 ions. In the presence of Mg+2 ions, ATP is converted into ATP and inorganic phosphate is attached to the glucose and form as a glucose 6 phosphate. But here the very important oxidation enzymes are important. That oxidation enzymes we are called as a that is one enzyme that we are called as a hexokinase. In the presence of hexokinase, the glucose is glucose 6 phosphate. So this is glucose 6 phosphate. So again the glucose 6 phosphate, again it is not a stable, it is again and again converted into up to the 9 steps, or it is converted to form as a pyruvic acid. So the glucose 6 phosphate again converted into fructose 6 phosphate. So means glucose fructose are same, structurally same. We are called as a isomerase. The glucose and fructose we are called as a isomerase, means they are mirror images, right? So that the enzyme is also there, that we are called phosphohexoisomerase. With the help of phosphohexoisomerase, that is fructose 6 phosphate is formed. So here any ATP is not used. So directly the glucose is form as a fructose, means their structure isomerase, means mirror image is formed in the third step of the glycolysis. So in the third step of the after the third step, again this fructose 6 phosphate is again that is converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate or bisphosphate. So means here there are two phosphates are added to the fructose with the help of again used the ATP. Again the ATP is converted into ADP and inorganic phosphate again added to the that is fructose 6 phosphate and form as a fructose 1,6 bisphosphate or biphosphate, fructose 1,6 phosphate. So here also that is Mg plus 2 ions are most important for their role, and also the enzyme is very important that we are called as a phosphofructokinase. So means again the phosphate is added to the fructose. So means there are two phosphates are present in the fructose. So from the glucose to fructose 6 phosphate. So means from first step to fourth step, actually they contain 6 carbon molecules in their structure. So here and here, second step and third step structure, and fourth one is containing 6 molecules in their structure. These 6 molecules now they are divided or break down into three molecules, 3 carbon molecules and 3 carbon molecules. So these three carbon molecules we are called, and it means the fructose 1,6 phosphate is again divided into two carbon molecules with the help of aldolase. So here that is here in the fifth step from the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, that is in the fifth step, that is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is formed, and another one is another third 3 carbon molecule dihydroxyacetone phosphate is present. So these three are divided, means they are splitting into two structures that we are called as a aldolase. The enzyme we are called as with the help of enzyme that we are called as a aldolase in the fifth step. So means in the glycolysis the fifth step divided into two carbons, that is mean three carbon molecules form as a 3 carbon molecules. One we are called as a glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, and the second one we are called as a dihydroxyacetone phosphate, right? So this is that is glycolysis from the first to fifth step. So in this first to fifth step there are 2 ATPs are used, means energy is very important for the conversion of glucose to 3 carbon molecules, that is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So here the energy is used in the first to fifth step. After first to fifth step, that is so from the fifth to 10th steps. So after the formation of the 3 carbon molecules, that is the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So these 3 molecules are isomerases. So isomerases means they are mirror images, means they change their structures from glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate to dihydroxyacetone phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate to glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So that's why this is called as a vice versa reaction. So means they are sometimes acetone phosphate and sometimes it is the dihydroxyacetone phosphate again change as a glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So these 3 carbon molecules, so this dihydroxyacetone phosphate and this glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate molecules form with the help of aldolase. Now we are seen in the between the fourth and fifth step of that enzyme is very important to form 3 carbon molecules of the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. And in this formation, because it is these are the isomerases, so here the enzyme is very very important. The conversion of the G3P, we are called glycerolide 3 phosphate, we are also called as a G3P, and DHAP, dihydroxystrone phosphate. So they are depend on the one enzyme that we are called as a TPI enzyme. TPI, triose phosphate isomerase. Triose phosphate isomerase. So this triose phosphate isomerase is very very important for the uh, that is conversion of the DHAP to glycerolate 3 phosphate and glycerolate 3 phosphate to DHAP. So this is two directions are present between the 3GP, G3P and DHAP. So this is the fifth step in the glycolysis, and in the that is sixth step. You are observed that the sixth step is from the fifth step. The glycerolate 3 phosphate G3P is formed as a 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid. So here this is very important. 1,3. Actually, in the glycerolate 3 phosphate, only one phosphate is present. So glycerolate 3 phosphate has only one phosphate in their structure. Means glycerolate, suppose 3 carbon molecules, on the third carbon molecule, that is phosphate is present. So this is the structure of glycerolate 3 phosphate. But when it is converted into 1,3 biphosphoglyceric, when it is converted into 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid, again one phosphate is added to this glycerolate 3 phosphate. So then this phosphate is added on the first carbon, on the first carbon. That's why they call as a 1. So 1,3. So this is 1 and this is 3 carbon. So that's why they call as a 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid. So means 2 are present. That's why they call as a 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid. So this is present from the cytoplasm of the cell, that we are called inorganic phosphate. Free inorganic phosphate is added to the first carbon of the glycerolate 3 phosphate. So that's why it is formed as a 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid. And also you are observing this between the step, that is NADH is formed. NADH. So means plus ions are added to the NAD plus ions. So NAD plus ions that is bind with H plus ions and form as a NADH ions. So this is also we are seen between the fifth and sixth step of the glycolysis. How this NADH and the extra phosphate is added on the first carbon of the that is glycerolate 3 phosphate, that is one enzyme is main role is there, that we are called as a that is we are called as a fifth enzyme, that we are dehydrogenase or dehydrogenase. So this is we are called as a dehydrogenase. That dehydrogenase enzyme is very important for the formation of NADH and also formation of 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid, right? So this is called 1,3 phosphoglyceric acid. 1,3 PGA means 1,3 bisphosphoglyceric acid. So this is in the sixth stage of the glycolysis. Again this 1,3 PGA or phosphoglyceric acid, again it is converted into 3 phosphoglyceric acid. So 1, that is 1,3 phosphoglyceric acid is converted to 3 phosphoglyceric acid, 3 PGA. So this is called 3 PGA. Seventh step. So, but here the first phosphate is removed as a ATP. So means between the sixth and between the seventh, that is 3-phosphoglyceric acid is formed, and that formation in the formation, that is the ATP is produced. The 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid is lost their phosphate group from the first carbon. Then the remaining only one phosphate is present on the third carbon of the that is phosphoglyceric acid. So that we are called as a 3PGA, that is phosphoglyceric acid, that we are called as a seventh step 3PGA, phosphoglyceric acid, third carbon phosphate glyceric acid. So ATP is released here. The very important that is Mg plus 2 ions also very important, right? So the ADP gain this phosphate and form as a ATP. So adenosine diphosphate bind with released phosphate and form as a ATP. So this is very important in the between the sixth and seventh steps of the glycolysis, right? So this is the step. And the eighth step. So in the eighth steps, you are observe that observe here, that is very important. You are observe here, that is 2-phosphoglyceric acid is formed from the 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So actually 3-phosphoglyceric acid means there are carbons are present on the carbon, one phosphate is present. That's we are called as a 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Yes or no? But here the phosphate group is transferred on second carbon of the that is 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Suppose this is 3 carbons, but the second carbon of the 2-phosphoglyceric acid. That's why means the phosphate is from 3 to 2 carbon. So actually from 3 to 2 carbon phosphate is bind with the second carbon. The phosphate is bind with the second carbon of the phosphoglyceric acid. So means it is that is what we are called change their position from 3 to 2 carbon. So that's why we are called as a 2-phosphoglyceric acid or 2PGA. 2PGA. So here the enzyme role is very important. That enzyme we are called as a phosphoglyceromutase. So that is called as a phosphoglyceromutase. So mutase means change the position of the phosphate group from 3-phosphoglyceric acid to 2-phosphoglyceric acid. So this is very important for the transfer of the phosphate from third carbon to second carbon. So this is 2PGA, 2-phosphoglyceric acid. And in the next one, between the ninth step. So between the 8th to 9th step is 2-phosphoglyceric acid, phosphoenol pyruvic acid, phosphoenol pyruvic acid, that called phosphoenol PEP, phosphoenol pyruvic acid. So here the enzyme is very important that we are called as a enolase. 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 With the help of enolase, the 2-phosphoglyceric acid form as a phosphoenol pyruvic acid, PEP. This PEP gain water molecules, H2O ions. With the H2O ions, phosphoenol pyruvic acid is formed. Right? This is ninth step of the glycolysis. Right? From the ninth step, that is from the ninth step to 10th step. Again, you observe that already one phosphate is present in the it is transferred from the 3-phosphoglyceric acid to 2-phosphoglyceric acid, 2-phosphoglyceric acid to phosphoric acid, right? So in this between the 9th and 10th, the phosphoenol pyruvic acid, again lost the phosphate group, and form as a ATP, means produced ATP. ATP is produced here with the help of ADP plus PI, means inorganic phosphate. So means the phosphate is lost from the phosphoenol pyruvic acid and add to the ADP and form as a ATP with the help of Mg plus, and here the enzyme is also very important. That enzyme we are called as a pyruvate kinase between the 9 and 10. This is a very important role, and it is convert the ADP to ATP, means energy is produced with the help of Mg plus 2 ions. And finally, the 3 carbon molecule is present as a pyruvic acid in the 10th step of the glycolysis. Pyruvic acid, right? So this is the that is terminal production of the or end product of the glycolysis. So in the glycolysis, you observe here in the glycolysis from the 5th to 10th steps, between the 5th to 10th step, uh, that is there are 2 ATPs are produced. So here and here 2 ATPs are produced, and again along with the ATP, that is one NADH is produced. So this NADH is very important. One NADH is equal to 3 ATP. We use 3 ATP in electron transport system, right? So means that is 2 ATP and 1 NADH is present from the 1 glycerolide 3 phosphate 2 between the pyruvic acid. So means 5th step to 10th step. So again, just observe here. Here also DHAP is produced from the glucose, right? From the glucose, means you observe that here the glucose is only one glucose molecule is participate in the glycolysis and produced glycerolide 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So based on that, here the DHAP also same participate in the that is 6th to 10th steps. So means this DHAP is converted into glycerol phosphate with the help of TPI, that we are called as a triose phosphate isomerase. Then it is also participate in the 6th, 7th, 8th steps. So for the participation of this DHAP, it is also produced same structures, means it is also produced 2 ATP and 1 NADH, right? So means from the 5th to 10th steps, between the 10th steps, how many ATPs are produced? 4 ATPs are produced and 2 NADHs are produced. NADHs are produced, right? So from the glycerolide 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate, right? So these three are two are very important for the production of 4 ATP and 2 NADH, right? This is the 5th to between the 10 steps, means you should remember that the 4 ATPs are produced and 2 NADHs are produced. These two NADHs are participate in the electron transport system and produced again, that is 6 ATPs. One NADH is participate and produce 3 ATPs. So means there are 2 NADHs are there. So nearly 6 ATPs are produced from this 5th to between the 6th step of the NADH, right? But that is another matter. It is participate in the electron and it produced ATPs. That is another matter. But in the glycolysis, there are 2 that is NADHs are produced and 4 ATPs are produced. Yes, this we should remember that. But here the beginning of the glycolysis cycle. The beginning of the glycolysis cycle, there is a two ATPs are used there. The two ATPs are used there. That is you are observed in the first and second steps. First and second step, one ATP is used, and between the third and fourth step, again one ATP is used. So means the two ATPs are used, and 4 ATPs are produced in the glycolysis from the 5th to 10th step, in the 5th to 10th steps, and 2 NADH are produced actually. But we are that is actually there are two are used in the first to fourth step, between the first to fourth step. That's why we are eliminated 2 ATPs from 4 ATPs, then only 2 ATPs are remaining there in the glycolysis. So means in the glycolysis, two ATPs are produced and two NADHs are produced. Why? Because the two are used in the first to fourth steps. So that's why we are actually 4 is produced, but 2 are used. Only 2 ATPs are produced in the glycolysis. So this is very important in the glycolysis structure. The finally in the glycolysis, that is pyruvic acid is produced. This pyruvic acid, this 3 carbon molecule of the pyruvic acid is participate in the Krebs cycle. Means the next step of the that is cellular respiration, that we are called Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, right? So this is about the glycolysis. So this that is a cytoplasm of the cell. Actually this glycolysis is that is present in the cytoplasm of the cell, maybe in the anaerobic or aerobic stage. So means maybe oxygen is present or maybe oxygen is absent. It is not depend on the presence of the oxygen and absent or present, but this glycolysis present in the cytoplasm and participate in the glycolysis in this that is converted the ATPs and produce the NADH plus ions, so NADH molecules. So this is glycolysis.